All right, y'all. This is Love and Hip Hop New York. This is season 8, episode 15. So Anais and Jonathan, they meet up at the nail shop or whatever, and Jonathan wants to talk to Anais about her behavior at the St. Martin trip or whatever, and he feels as though Yandy had a right to be upset and everything. Like, listen, I extended the invite to you because you're my best friend or whatever, and your behavior is a representation of me and everything, this, that, and the third. And Anais is like, but how can you say I embarrassed you and all this other stuff, this, that, and the third? And Jonathan is like, I mean, I was embarrassed. Like, I mean, you was doing the most or whatever. We was there for a great cause and everything, and Anais is like, but I bring the party everywhere I go and this, that, and the third. And so Anais is like, and what was that about Jacquay? But she tried to act like she didn't know his name or whatever at first. I said, girl, stop it. Like, all this flirting and carrying on that you was doing, even when you was still messing around with Rich or whatever, all this, flirting and carrying on that you was doing with him. Don't try to act like you don't know his name now, okay? But anyways, she's like, he needs to chill, or be careful what he says out his mouth or whatever, because he got people thinking that something happened that didn't happen at all or whatever. So Jonathan is like, so nothing happened between y'all? And she's like, no, or whatever. So they make up, that's that, and he actually gives her a kiss on the lips, and I was just like, I mean, a kiss on the cheek would have been cool. Like, you don't know where neither one of y'all mouths been. I'm just saying, we don't know where neither one of their mouths have been, like, a kiss on the cheek would have been okay. But anyways, so Dream Doll and Brittany, they meet up or whatever. She's telling her about the St. Martin trip, how things were kind of rocky a little bit at first, but it did end on a positive note. And then she squashed beef with Mariah. Well, of course, Dream Doll, she's like, well, I started beefing with her because of the situation that was going on between you and Bianca and all that other stuff, this, that, and the third. And Brittany is like, like, you really gonna sit up here and make me feel bad for, like, being an adult for my grandma and this, that, and the third, and trying to be on some mature grown women type of shit and everything. And, Dream Doll just feels as though Brittany is wrong because she feels as though, like, I started beefing with them because of you or whatever, and now you done squash your beef with Mariah and everything, and now I'm still beefing with her. Like, nah, you should still be beefing with her too. Just, little kid shit that don't nobody got no time for. It's like, Dream Dog, grow the fuck up. But like I told y'all before, as far as I know, her and Mariah are good at this point, but but still, we talking about the show. So it's just like, yeah, girl, grow up. Nobody told you to start beefing with Mariah to begin with. That was on you. You drug Mariah into the beef for no reason at all when that shit was between Brittany and Bianca. So, girl, whatever. So then Dream Doll has a conversation with her mom, and she says that her mom had her at a young age. So they're like, like sisters or whatever, she said. And she has a conversation with her mom about how her and Mariah aren't friends anymore, and how Bree and Bianca been beefing for 10 years. And I forgot that they did say that shit. I'm like, god damn. Like, it ain't that much beef in the world to be beefing with the motherfucker for 10 years. Like, god damn. But then again, we got 50 Cent and Ja Rule. That's a whole different topic, but I'm just saying. I was like, god damn, 10 years, a decade. But anyway, so yeah, so she's still sitting up here trying to say Mariah got involved. It's like, no, she got involved because you brought her name up. She didn't have nothing to do with it. You brought her name up or whatever, trying to confront Bianca and shit on Brittany's behalf or whatever. Like, it just irritates me how she just tries to put all of this shit on Mariah or whatever. But anyways, she's like, so yeah, Mariah got involved, that she was calling me a op or whatever, and her mom is trying to tell her to be the bigger person and everything. Like, show them Tabitha, because that's Dream Doll's real name. She's like, show them Tabitha, you've been saying how you want to change and all this other stuff, so do it. So she starts crying because, Brittany and Mariah are cool now. And she's like, I don't mind having a conversation with her or whatever, but it's just, you had a conversation with her by herself, and you the only one who got to clear your name up, and this, that, and the third. There's a whole bunch of fucking whining. It's like, cry me a fucking river, okay? So, her mom is like, just have a conversation with her or whatever. And she's saying, I don't know if I could be her friend after all this that done happened. And and her mom, she's like, you don't have to be her friend. Just be cordial with her and everything, so y'all can do what y'all got to do and get this money or whatever. So Dream Doll, she tells about the confrontation that her and Mariah had, and how, Dream Doll is saying how Mariah called her out her name. So then that's when I said her mama and all this other stuff. And that's when she went off on me and everything. And her mom was like, now, you know better than to be saying somebody's mama. You know that was crossing the motherfucking line or whatever. Like, you know better than that. So that was their little conversation. Then we have Safari real quick, having Jacquay, Brie, and Mariah in the studio to record, the Paradise remix. Now, mind you, y'all know Yandy was supposed to be a part of this or whatever, signing off on this or whatever, I guess. But, earlier in the episode, Safari was saying how, he was telling Jacquay and, Jacquay and Self, that he feels like Yandy trying to take over his record and everything. Like, he cool with her bringing them all together at the St. Martin trip or whatever, this, that, and the third. But the Paradise record was here before she came about, so he wants to have control of it and everything, and that's understandable or whatever. I just didn't know it was that big of an issue, because I'm like, shit, did we miss a scene? Was it a deleted scene or whatever? Because I didn't know. We didn't know Safari felt this way, of course, until this episode. But anyways, so, they're all like, where's Yandy at or whatever. And he's like, listen, I booked this studio session. This is my shit. Yandy being a little bit too aggressive with it, so I'm in control. And they all, do their verse or whatever. And I was kind of jamming a little bit. I was like, okay, it's a little bop. It's a little bop or whatever. It's cute, But yeah, it was cool. It was cool. So then we have Cayenne and Jacquay meeting up over dinner. And, he gives the typical speech when a nigga know that he done fucked up with his lady. He knows he fucked up. He's sorry, yada, yada, yada. And, she's like, how did that all come about? And, the whole situation with him and Anais come about. And he's like, listen, I wasn't vibing with you at the moment. I just needed somebody to talk to or whatever, this, that, and the third. So she pulls out this contract or whatever that she wants him to abide by in their relationship. And she starts reading stuff off and this, that, and the third. And he with it, you know what I'm saying? So he goes on and signs it and everything. And she makes him say, say that you dead ass about Cayenne. So he says it, and they cool or whatever. So he wants her to be in his music video. I think the song is called Shake Something or something like that. He wants her to be in the video and everything, and she's like, I might stop by whatever just to see how things play out and everything. So then we have Bianca and Mariah, another childish ass motherfucker. I'm talking about Bianca. So Bianca got this performance going on in the club or whatever. And after she does her performance, her and Mariah, they sit down and everything. She's telling Bianca about the St. Martin trip and, how her and Brie was about to get into it at first when Yandy had like this lunch or what, when Yandy had the lunch or whatever. And she's telling, Bianca how they was about to get into it at first. And, how Brie was saying, well, thank God, Bianca ain't there or whatever, this, that, and the third, because Mariah really wanted Bianca to be a part of, the Paradise remix song and everything. Y'all remember that whole thing. So, Next thing she know, the girl started crying and apologizing, this, that, and the third. And Bianca, she's like, oh well, she's fraud. I'm mad that you even had a conversation with her or whatever, and now you sitting up here feeling bad for her and all this other stuff. And Mariah is like, I mean, girl, we are up here. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's trying to get Bianca to see the other side of things, and Bianca is just, y'all know how Bianca do. She's like, girl, we up here. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that me and her is the best of friends, but I mean, goddamn, we could be cordial with one another without some shit popping off every time we see each other. You know what I'm saying? Bianca still feels as though it's a violation, and she like, Mariah expect me to dead some beef that's been going on for 10 years or whatever after she come back from Paradise and everything. And I don't think Mariah feels like that. It's just a simple fact. Like, I mean, is we gonna keep on doing this shit? Is we gonna keep on being little girls, or is we gonna be grown ass women? You don't have to be best friends with somebody to, squash the beef with them. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I don't think Mariah was trying to necessarily like, make her just completely squash beef with Brittany, because we know y'all been having a beef for over a decade. That shit takes fucking time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Bianca, if she just keep on having this mindset, I don't really see her really doing too much, I don't really see her doing too much as far as this industry is concerned, because that attitude right there, it's not gonna get you nowhere. But anyway, so Brittany, Dream Doll, and oh no, before that, Mariah wants, Bianca to be on the Paradise remix. She does inform Bianca that Brittany is on the Paradise remix and everything, and Bianca's like, oh, well, I'll think about it, yada yada yada. So then we have Brittany, Dream Doll, and Mariah meeting up or whatever. And Brittany is like, I just wanted to bring you and Mariah together or whatever. I didn't like the way things ended between the last time me and you talked or whatever. You was really upset and everything. And Dream Doll pretty much lets her know, you right or whatever, because pretty much my mom said the same thing that you were saying. So, it's cool or whatever, and work. But she also says too that trying to work stuff out with Mariah is easier said than done. Mariah shows up or whatever. It is awkward at first and everything, but Mariah, she starts to speak. She's like, listen, I'm over the bullshit or whatever. I don't got time. Dream Doll, she's like, we was cool. I'm not sure we gonna get back to where we was. And Mariah's like, I mean, I hit low and everything. And Dream Doll's like, listen, we both hit low or whatever. And Mariah's like, listen, when you talked about my music and everything, like, I take my music seriously, and then you making the comment about my mom, that's a violation. Like, that's a violation and everything, And Dream Doll, she's like, yeah, I know, I apologize about the comment I made about your mother. And as far as the music thing, I understand that, because I take my craft seriously too. And I was just like, I guess. But anyway, so next thing they hug it out or whatever, so it's cool. Then we have Jacquay doing his music video or whatever. Cayenne, she did end up showing up and everything. But Cayenne, she surprises Jacquay with Anais, because she really wants to set the record straight to see, if Jacquay was lying and anything that he was saying to her or whatever. So, Anais, she apologizes because she didn't know nothing about Cayenne or whatever. And, she's asking Anais, how did the whole situation come about? What was going on? And, Anais is like, I mean, we were just talking, that's it. And, Cayenne is like, who called who? And Anais is like, I mean, it was a group or whatever. And Cayenne, she looks at Jacquay like, you said y'all was alone or whatever. And Jacquay is like, listen, we left the group and then we smoked. So at one point we was with the group, and then we kind of veered off away from the group or whatever. So Cayenne was like, well, who was in the room when she exposed herself or whatever? And Anais is like, huh? And Jacquay is like, when you showed your coochie or whatever. And And Anais is like, oh, I mean, fuck, Brittany was there and everything. And I was like, I was confused because y'all remember on the last episode when Jacquay was even talking to Yandy and all of them at their lunch or whatever. Brittany was acting confused by the fact that Jacquay was even with Anais and everything. So I'm like, I was like, okay, somebody, I don't know about this now. But anyway, so but yeah, she was like, Brittany was there or whatever. I mean, that's what I do and everything. And, Cayenne is like, but you're married or whatever. And Anais is like, listen, my marriage ain't got shit to do with me being sexy. I don't know how flashing your vagina doesn't have anything to do with the fact that you're married, because, like, you shouldn't be showing your vagina to people and you're a married woman. But, okay, But, Cayenne, she says to Jacquay, you jeopardize, you almost jeopardized what you had with the gym for some garbage or whatever. Now, I felt like that was just unnecessary, because it's like, okay, Cayenne, you brought the girl down there to find out what you needed to find out. It was no need to, like, just go and insult her and everything. And, like, Cayenne was just doing too much. Like, she was just going back and forth with her and Anais at this point, just saying, a whole bunch of disrespectful shit. And like I said, Cayenne didn't have to go there because it was unnecessary. All you had to do was say, okay, well, thank you for letting me know what had happened. It's cool. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? But all this insulting her and, I understand the shit that Cayenne was saying or whatever, but it was unnecessary. It really was unnecessary. But anyway, so then Safaree, he needs everybody to do their parts individually to finish up the Paradise remix. So he has Mariah come in or whatever. And Mariah's like, well, I have an idea, I think Bianca should be a part of the song or whatever. And, she's on her way here. And he's like, she's cool being on the record with Brie or whatever. And Mariah's like, yeah, we had the conversation and everything, this, that, and the third. So, Bianca, she walks in and she says, I'm not going to do the record with Brie on it or whatever. And, like, she's sitting up here talking about she showed up so Mariah can know how it feels to be stabbed in the back. I'm like, but Mariah didn't stab you in the fucking back. She squashed some unnecessary beef that she had really no parts of to begin with. Like, what the fuck? Like, child, I'm not about to keep on going over this shit, child. We know at this point, Bianca fucking childish. She need to grow up. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is why she not gonna get anywhere, because of this mentality that she got. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, next thing you know, Safaree is like, clearly she got her mind made up or whatever. She's very strong-willed or something like that, he said. And then Bianca starts disrespecting Safaree. And it wasn't even called for. You know what I'm saying? And he like, what the fuck? And she's sitting up here talking about you and Safaree should hook up or whatever, because he always fucking with whack ass bitches anyway. And I'm like, Mariah, I would not be her motherfucking friend no more, to be quite honest, because once again, nobody's expecting you to squash beef with Brie or squash beef with her that fucking quickly or whatever. But the least you could do is be happy that your friend is trying to squash beef and trying to, be on some mature shit or whatever and take herself out of the unnecessary beef. But you can't even fucking do that. And then you're going to insult her by saying, oh, yeah, I need to hook up or whatever because he always fucking with some whack ass bitches anyway. Like, I wouldn't be her friend no more, but that's just me. But anyway, so then Jonathan and Anais, they meet up. They go ice skating or whatever. And Anais, she tells Jonathan about, the situation with Jacquay and Cayenne, but she didn't tell the whole story. She didn't tell about, Cayenne popping off on her, because she feels as though Jonathan don't even know all that. The situation is dead, over with, whatever. But she does tell him that Ruben left the house, And she feels bad and she knows that she needs to fix it and everything. And she's sitting up here saying that she don't want her kids to go through the same thing that she did when her parents split up when she was a kid or whatever. And I'm like, girl, you should have thought about that before you start messing around with Richard. I'm just saying, but anyways, yeah. So of course Jonathan, he's, comforting her or whatever, whatnot, and telling her that he's gonna be there for her, typical shit that you say to your friends. So then Bianca, she meets up with Webstar because, she's saying that he's the one who created issues between her and Bree and everything. And she starts it off by saying that she forgives him or whatever, and because she's trying to be a bigger person. And I'm like, I can't tell. But, and he's like, forgive me for what or whatever. And she says what she says and everything. And she talks about how the chicken noodle soup record got them hot or whatever. And he was like, the deal that we had, I took the deal for me. And she's like, exactly, you took it for you, not for me, leaving me hanging this, that, and the third. And he's like, we didn't know the business or whatever. And she's like, exactly, I was 15. And he's like, and I was 20. So, I mean, what is you saying? And she's like, listen, you working with your own artists or whatever, that's cool. I don't have an issue with that. But you threw dirt on my name and everything, telling people don't be around Bianca and all this other negative shit and everything. And Webstar says that, it is his fault for the issues that's between Bree and Bianca, because he made it a competition, but he didn't mean for them to like start beefing or whatever. And she feels like, that girl hated me from day one or whatever, from whatever you told her. And he's like, I told you the same shit or whatever. And she's like, but I never talked bad about you. And she starts crying. They going back and forth, and she's saying how she's done, and she walks off. I ain't gonna lie, that Webstar dude seemed like a fucking dickhead. I just, it's just something about him I don't like. And then he's saying that, he did tell Bree certain stuff or whatever, but he told her the same, but he told Bianca the same shit. Like, why would you even do that? Why would you do it to the point where you're trashing the both of them to each other, and then making them, get these thoughts in their head about one another? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you fucking do that? And you supposed to be helping them both out. Like, I mean, come on now. But yeah, I don't really like him too much. But Bianca, you got to take some responsibility for your actions too, and how you handle certain situations. But yeah, that was the episode, you guys. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys share the video, and I'll be back in here soon for Love and Hip Hop Miami. All right, y'all.